Brendan.
Good morning.
Well, you're always in a good mood. It's nice to talk to you.
Appreciate it.
Are you always a happy person?
I try to be.
Good for you. How's it going?
Pretty good.
You're feeling healthy?
Yep.
Do you know anyone who has the virus?
No, I don't.
We're lucky. It's a good thing we're not in New York.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for the people that have to go, the meat packers, because that's where the most cases are now, in the meat industry. Here in Nebraska, anyway. Okay, we're going to wait for 3 more minutes. Is that okay with you? I'm going to play around with this and see if I can figure it out, okay?
Okay.
Don't go anyplace. Please don't leave.
I won't.
I'll start right at noon, okay?
Okay.
I'll see if the stuff is already here that I saved,
Gotcha.
hopefully. Oh, I did my homework. I had this already, and it's not here.
Yeah, I just see white.
Pardon me?
I just see like a blank white.
Yeah, what happened to my stuff? It was all saved. Show in Finder. I wonder what that means. Whiteboard. Okay, let's see what happens here. Nothing. Okay, I'm going to go back and try this one. Oh, Brandon, I'm so proud of myself because I did it about 10 o'clock. I thought I got it already. Shucks. Oh, it's not here. These are all just now. I'll try this one. Oh, I'm so disappointed. Shucks. I took a lot of time to do it too. That's very discouraging. Here's Finder. Let me do this. Oh, rats. That's a shame. Oh, well. I'll just sort of type while I talk, okay?
Okay.
Let's go back here. You're easygoing. You don't care. Phooey.
I read the 75.
You read what?
For one more day to 75.
Very good. Thank you.
No problem.
You like the book?
Yeah, it's a good book.
Do you read very much?
Yeah, I do. I'm getting into the Harry Potter series. I'm about to finish that.
Seriously, good for you. I hate the fact that so many people don't read anymore because they're just doing everything on the computer.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Okay, it's 12 o'clock. Well, we're going to start doing what I did before, and that's
Okay.
and that's reviewing. Let's see if it's going to work for me. And that means I am, share screen. share screen, whiteboard. No, where's my tools? Maybe. Okay, I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I remember what I. See, I'm not getting my tools here.
Man.
You know where it said to text. Here's the pen, highlight, turn it around. Where are the tools? Oh, I am so disappointed. Resume. Sharing is paused. Bring your shared window to the front. Screen sharing has stopped. Oh, it's somebody else is here though. That's a good thing. Good old Victor. Hi, Victor. Can you hear me, Victor? There you go. Okay, we're going to do it one more time. Hi, Victor.
Hi, Mrs. Owen.
You know what happened to me? I had all this stuff written on the whiteboard and it went away. I did it about 2 hours ago, so I'd be all ready for class. And I put share, I don't know, I put save, I don't know why it's not saving. Let's see.
Oh,
So I'm
that's
just
not
gonna have
good.
to talk, sorry.
Okay, no problem. We'll just do it the way we can.
Well, that's a good attitude. And I got your homework, Victor, thank you. I haven't corrected all of it yet.
Okay.
You guys, you keep doing your homework, Brandon, and you guys are both passing. These other people that don't come to class will not pass. So I'm glad that you're doing your work. I guess
Okay.
that it just isn't here. So, okay, I'm going to new share right here. Look, I can even put sound on. I didn't know I could do that.
This technology is hard for all of us. We're learning every day.
And I'm probably learning just as much as you guys are, if not more. Okay,
Yeah.
well, I can't do it. So we're just going to go back and talk because
Okay.
it's too frustrating. So I'm going to make this big and I'm going to put, right now I just see our pictures are very little. I'll put pause, stop share. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to put gallery view. Okay. So first thing we're going to review, and there's 2 words. Now this is part of your final. 2 words that mean against. One is contra, like if you contradict somebody. Do you have your books out? Why don't you turn to page 13?
Okay. Page, did you say page 13?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, man. 13.
So when you study for your final, I think it's easier to remember. If you think there's 2 words that mean against, anti and contra. So if you're anti-war, you're against the war, right?
Yeah.
And if you contradict somebody, that means you don't believe what they're saying. Like,
Yeah, sure.
okay. So both of those mean against.
And counter.
Pardon me?
And counter.
No,
Right,
yeah.
counter too. That could also
Counter, yeah.
very, very good, Brandon. That could also mean against. Like if you turn something counterclockwise, you turn it in the left instead of the right. You turn it against the way that you normally do. Lindsay, I'm having class now. I'll turn off my phone. Okay, the next word is that I want to go over is the word pre. That's an easy one. If I give you a pre-test, I give you a test when?
Before.
Excellent.
Before.
Can you guys find what means after? What's the opposite of pre?
Post.
You're right. What is the opposite of super, which means above?
Below.
And what is the prefix?
Uh,
16.
hypo.
Hypo means below, and also sub means under. So you
Yeah.
have above and under. Okay, turn to page 14. What word, what prefix means for?
Mhm.
Like
Quad.
yes, a rectangle
Wow.
is a quadrangle because it has 4 angles. What does impossible mean? If something's impossible, it is
Not, you cannot accomplish it.
right. And the last one we're going to talk about is there's 2 words, 2 prefixes that mean one. What are those two prefixes?
Uni and mono.
Perfect.
Mono, yeah.
And do you know what a monologue is?
It's like one story.
Right. Very good. And also, do you ever watch Stephen Colbert or Jimmy Kimmel?
Jimmy
stand
Kimmel
up-
sometimes.
They stand up on the stage and they give a monologue. They just tell jokes all by themselves. That's a monologue. But you're right. If using word
Like-
analysis,
Like the comedians,
yeah,
like
yeah,
the comedians that stand on the stage and create fun and make fun.
that's correct.
And they be okay.
Because they're all by themselves. They're one
Yeah.
person on the stage. Look
Yeah.
at page 15. What means to hear? To hear.
Audit
Okay, Brandon. So where would your auditory nerve be?
in your ears.
Excellent. What another body thing is derm? What does derm mean? I think I'm yelling. I don't need to yell. I always,
People.
right.
I mean
That's
skin.
dem. That's
Yes.
dem, like democracy.
Derm is skin.
Right. So if I had a
Yeah.
rash, I might go see the dermatologist. That's a
Yeah.
skin doctor.
Yeah.
And dem is people. We just took a
Mhm.
census, and a census gets information about the demographics of a city. Like, you guys probably didn't do the census, your parents did, or I don't know if you did or not, but demographics would mean like the average age of the average person is maybe 30 years old in Omaha, Nebraska. The average person has 2 TVs in their house. Those are demographics, statistics about people. Okay, doke, turn the page to page 16. If you break your leg, you do not have good mobility. What does mobility mean?
Moving around.
Right, it means to move. Excellent. Telephone is another word we can use word analysis with. Tele means
What? Far away.
far, and phone means sound. Sound. So when you talk on the telephone, you're getting sound from far
Yeah.
away.
Okay.
If you look at number 16, phonics, that's sound too. When you're in first grade, the teacher teaches you phonics. They'll say a T says T, an A says A. That's phonics, what the letters sound like. One more on this page. Victor, what does man mean? Number 7.
It's not clear on my book. Something happened to the position of number 7 and 8.
It means hand.
Good. Well, I'll have Brandon do it then. So can
Okay.
you tell me, Brandon, what kind of a job would be manual labor?
Construction.
Excellent. When you use your hands for your job, that's called manual labor. Just like hand, when you get a manicure, you get your fingernails painted. What's another one? A manual. A manual you hold in your hands to learn how to do something. Like if you buy a new washing machine, it comes with a manual.
Yeah.
Something to read. And the
I,
last
I,
page,
I never saw washing machine before until I came here.
seriously?
Yeah.
How did you clean your clothes in your country?
Wait, you wash with your hands.
Just like when I was growing up, my aunt had like a wringer, and she would put the clothes through a wringer and have to do that with her hands too.
We scrub a lot of dresses with a hand. A lot of people don't know how washing machine looks like.
I had that once. Once I had a student many years ago, about 20 years ago, and she was from Sudan. And the mother came to visit me. And she says, well, I just don't know what to do because I cannot get my clothes clean. And I've got a laundry machine, but she didn't know how to work the washing machine.
Yeah, I've barely learned everything over here. I mean, like everything, even to like use a computer, do stuff on Microsoft. I learned everything over here because in Cameroon, having a computer is kind of luxury. You must be kind of wealthy, or you must have saved a lot of money over time. And yeah, it's really something else.
That's interesting. So you're
Yeah,
from Cameroon.
yeah, I'm from Cameroon.
What's the name of the biggest city in Cameroon?
Uh, no.
You're cutting out. Your voice is cutting out. Brandon, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Victor, can you hear me? I don't know what happened to him. Brandon, are you from the United States?
Yes.
So you didn't have to go through. I think that would be so hard to move to a different country. Okay, Brandon, I'm going to do two more, then we're going to put it away. Look at page 17. If something is in a vacuum, and I'm not talking about a vacuum cleaner,
Empty.
right? You've heard that before, like a scientist might work in a vacuum.
Yeah,
That
something is
something is
vacant. Mean nobody live there.
I have to, okay, we lost you, Victor, but I'm unmuting you now.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can.
Yeah,
So
okay.
what was my question? I forgot.
You were asking what's the biggest city in
Oh,
Cameroon.
yeah.
So I was saying it's Douala.
Douala.
Douala is the biggest city. It's the economic capital of Cameroon.
How did you get to come to the United States?
Oh, there's this thing they call a DV lottery, green card lottery.
Okay.
So I participated in it and I was selected. That's how I found myself over here.
Are you glad that you came?
Very glad, very happy. My entire family is grateful.
Is your family here in the United States?
I'm all by myself.
Why did you choose? This is my last question. Why did you choose Omaha?
No, fine. Feel free. I'll tell you everything you want to know. There was one person, the only person that could receive me in the United States was here in Omaha. So I had to come to Omaha through the person so he can host me for some time because there was no one else.
You have to be low. Are you lonely at all?
Yeah, lonely always. But
Well,
I'm fine.
I'm glad you're here because you're a hard worker. So
Yeah, sure.
I can tell you're grateful to go to school. So that's
Yeah. Yeah.
okay. Brandon and I were just talking about what was the word? Oh, vacant. When you think of a vacuum cleaner, you usually think of a sweeper that you push, but vac means empty. So a lot of times scientists will put an object, put a scientific element in a vacuum to see what happens to it. And that just means an empty space where there's no air or anything. It's in a vacuum. And a
Yeah.
vacant lot, have you ever heard of a vacant, well, you've heard of a vacant apartment. What is
Mhm.
that?
An empty apartment.
Excellent. And the last one we're going to talk about is, oh, look at number 9. It looks like the word the, but I'm going to pronounce it the. And the means, it's number 9 on page 17.
Okay. The, which means good.
No, look at it again.
Means God.
God, yeah,
You
God.
put too many O's in it. So if you study theology, that means you study religion, you study God. Now look at the next one. That's interesting. An atheist. Brandon, have you ever heard that word before, and do you know what it means?
Yeah, that's someone who don't believe in God.
That's right. So A means not, the means God, and ist means person. So it's a person who doesn't believe in God. Okay, so I opened up module 6. And so your true false questions for page 17 are on module 6.
Okay.
Okay, let's talk about, for one more day. Can you excuse me for a minute? I left my book in the other room. I'll be right back.
No
Okay.
problem.
Okay, on Tuesday, we talked about how Charlie had a problem. He didn't know whether to please his mom or please his dad because they wanted different things. And then his dad left them, and he felt like he had to be the man of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do either one of you guys, why did Posey lose her job as a nurse?
Oh, because when she lost her husband, it was like a sin. It was like a sin. I don't know to put it in a neighborhood or where she lived. It was like a sin to lose your husband because it was rare in those days, and everyone hated her, and that's the reason she had to lose her job at a hospital as a nurse.
Okay, now it's different. That's why the setting of a book is so important. This took place in 1950, and back then hardly any women got divorced because they couldn't support themselves. Women, it was just culture that women stayed at home. Well, she was a nurse, and one of the male doctors started flirting with her, and she complained about it, and they said it was her fault, and so they fired her. Now, today, there's such a thing as sexual harassment. If that would have happened today, they would have fired the doctor because
They would have fired the doctor. That's right.
it's against the law to, that's called sexual harassment.
Yeah.
What did she become after she was a nurse?
I forgot. I want to use that word. Like, she used to do
being a
makeup.
nurse.
She used to do makeup and braiding. I don't know the.
She was makeup for old people.
Yeah.
Right, because she became a hairdresser. Maybe we haven't got that far. She was a hairdresser, so when she retired, she would go visiting old people. Good job, Brandon. She would visit old people and fix them up because she was such a nice person. She always wanted to help people. And if you guys would look in your book, I'm trying to find the part where she was fired. Because she picked him up from school, and he says, "Why aren't you wearing your nurse's outfit?" And then he says, "You were fired, weren't you?" And that made him mad. And he left the car and wouldn't take any ice cream. Oh, well, I can't find it. So Posey was a hard worker. She tried to raise her kids. Brendan, did you get to the part in your book where it talks about the nuns?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna ask Brandon. What did the nuns give the kids?
Green beans and meatloaf.
Yes. Why?
Because they felt sorry.
Yes, they said, oh, you guys probably don't get any good food because your mother is a divorcee. And
Yeah.
you were right.
That's the second time chick heard that word divorcee.
That was a bad word in those days.
Yeah.
So, Brandon, what did Posey do with the meatloaf?
Garbage disposal.
And why do you think she did that?
To let the kids know she didn't need no help.
Excellent. She thought she was a very proud woman, and she says, I don't need any help. I'm raising you. Why do they feel sorry for me? What do you think? Brandon, do you agree with her? Do you think that was the right thing to do?
Yeah.
How about you, Victor?
Well, I see it differently. I just think that she wasn't supposed to act like that, because though people look at you, and it's not wrong for someone to feel that you might need help. When people look at situations and they think that this situation, it needs to be helped out, I don't think that is wrong.
And there's no right or wrong answer. Every time I teach this book, about half of my students think she was right to throw it away because she was proud, and the other half think it's bad. I wouldn't have thrown it away. You know why? I would be thankful, because you can always use more money, and that's one meal she didn't have to buy. Plus, she didn't have to cook that night. So I think I wouldn't have done that. Okay, so she became a hairdresser, and all of her friends after the divorce, she didn't have any women's friends. And this is true. Back in those days, if someone was divorced, the other women thought that their husbands would go after that lady, that she would flirt with the men and she would want them. So they didn't want to do things with her anymore, because they thought she would try to take their husbands away. Victor, what was the Santa Claus story about? I felt so sorry for Posey when she tried. Oh, we lost Victor again. Brandon, do you remember what happened with the Santa Claus part, or did you get that far?
I'm only the 75.
Okay.
I don't recall that part.
So anyhow, she tried to pretend like she was Santa Claus, and that made Charlie mad, because why is she faking it? Why is she acting like we're a family? We're not even a family anymore. Charlie told his sister, that's just mom. And then Posey started to cry because he spoiled it, and she was trying to be a good mom. And Charlie is just angry with her because he thinks it's her fault that they're getting a divorce. So would you try to read up to page 100 over the weekend by next Tuesday?
100?
Yes.
I will.
Okay, then I want to do one more thing before you hang up. And
Okay.
I want to turn on the computer because I want to show you something. Now the computer's not even up here. Usually it gives me a chance to, here's my desktop. Oh, well, instead of doing that, would you please, Brandon, just open the book. Here, let me get rid of this. Open this book, Making Reading Relevant.
To what page?
At the beginning of chapter 6. And that would be page, we're almost done with the book. We only have 3 more weeks of class. So I want you to pass 108. Okay, we've talked in this class about how this book, it's pretty easy. It's a lot easier than Harry Potter, I think. But the thing that makes it hard is that it jumps around between time when Charlie's an adult and he's a child. And I told you that at the beginning, because if you know how a book is organized, it makes it easier to read. So chapter 6 is about, oh good, he's back. I gotta let him in. Chapter 6 is about how books are organized. And if you look, do you have a pencil?
Mm-hmm.
So the first one is narration. And I'm going to tell you the answer. The answer is B. To relate an event or series of events. A narration's like a story. It's like the book for One More Day. Victor, we're on page 108 of Making Reading Relevant.
Oh, sorry, my Wi-Fi is really bad, so I just disconnected to use my normal data.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, and then now the rest of them are nonfiction. Number 2 would be E, cause and effect. And you find that in science and in history. Like, what caused a war? E says, shows a relationship between 2 or more events. Or nonfiction can be process analysis. Brandon, read what D is. D is the answer for number 3.
Explain how to do something.
So I don't know why they use such fancy words, process analysis, because it's just instructions. So if you follow a recipe, that's process analysis. If you're reading something that tells you how to put together something, that's process analysis. Number 4, classification is A. Victor, read what A is.
In my book?
Yes, on page 108.
In page what?
108. 108.
Okay. Oh, 108. What number did you say I should read?
108, number 4, classification is A. On the right side of the blue rectangle, I want you to read what it says by the A.
This to explain how to do something.
Oh, I'm sorry, A. You're supposed to read A.
Oh, A, to explain parts or to sort into categories.
So if you classify things, you're sorting them into things that are similar.
Into categories. Yeah.
Okay, read F, Brandon. Number 5 is F. Comparison, contrast.
To show how things are alike and different.
And the last one, 6, is C. And what is C, Victor?
To define a term or clarify the meaning.
Excellent. So what you guys have to do now before we turn off, I want you to look below, and you're going to read the sentence and tell me what it is. And the choices are above: narration, cause and effect, process analysis, classification, compare, contrast, definition, and example. I'll do number 1. The first thing you need to do to organize your closet is to get some shelves. Second, you need some boxes and pens for labeling.
That's classification.
No, they're telling you how to organize your closet. So it's process analysis. First you do this, then you do that. So put F by number 1.
Gotcha.
Okay, Brandon, do the next one. It's pronounced Feng Shui.
Feng Shui is the ancient Chinese art of harmony and balance.
Good.
That'd be B.
It's not a story.
It's E.
Right. It's a definition of feng shui. I'm just going to ask you, Victor, do you know what ancient means?
Yes.
What?
Ancient means old.
Excellent. Number 3, Victor, I can't wait to tell you about the father-daughter dance at my wedding. The answer is, what is that?
Narration time.
Yes, it's like a story. So number 3 is B. Victor, number 4.
Movies have various how they
Genres.
pronounce-
Genres.
various genres such as horror, comedy, romance, or drama. I would take definition and examples.
It could be examples, but there's a better answer. Do you know what that would be?
Classification.
Yes, because they're classifying this movie is a comedy, but this movie is a horror movie. They're classifying.
They're classifying. That's right. I get it now.
Number 5, because my father is in prison, I am raising my brothers and sisters.
Cause and effect.
Excellent. And so that leaves D for number 6. Country music and rock and roll are alike in some ways, but they can be very different. So that's comparing the two.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what Victor, Brendan, I mean, you have more homework to do. I think you're pretty caught up, Victor, but listen up. This is what I want you to do for over the weekend. Read to page 100 for one day. And then I want you to go look at the announcements in module 6, and it tells you 2 little things to do.
Okay.
And don't worry about the assignments for one more day. We're going to do that next week.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Any questions, Brandon?
Nope.
Okay, I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Keep the work coming in.
All right.
See you on Tuesday.
Have a great weekend.
All right, you
too.
too.
Bye.
Bye.